right. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants event. My name is Joe Grabowski, and I'll be your host for today. And I should be wishing a good, big, happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody as well. So I hope to see some students out there wearing green. I blew it. I'm wearing blue for the ocean because we've got like an ocean-themed event going on today, but hopefully we see lots of green hanging out in those classrooms. So today is one of our extra special events. We love any time that we can take a trip live out into the field, and it's even better when that trip involves the Fabien Cousteau Ocean Learning Center. So we have been doing some incredible events with them, heading down to Nicaragua, where they have an amazing sea turtle project run by an incredible team of women from the local community. They are going out onto the beach. They are finding sea turtle nests. They are moving the eggs to the hatchery. And then when they do hatch, they are releasing them back into the ocean and giving them that extra special head start. Because many students out there might know sea turtle species. There are 7 of them. 6 of them are threatened with extinction. So it is incredible work that they are doing there. So we have a great group joining us today. I'm going to start off by introducing Fabien Cousteau. So aquanaut, oceanographic explorer, environmental advocate, and founder of the Fabien Cousteau Ocean Learning Center. In 2014, Fabien and a team of aquanauts embarked on Mission 31, the longest science expedition to take part at the Aquarius Reef Base, the world's only underwater marine laboratory. And in 2016, he founded the Fabien Cousteau Ocean Learning Center to fulfill his dream of creating a vehicle to make positive change in the world. So let's bring Fabien in right now for a quick hello. Fabien, how are you doing today?
Hey, Joe. Hello, everyone. Great to be here.
All right, Fabien. Well, it's great to have you joining us today. I am going to bring in some more of the team in just a moment, but why don't you just kind of give us a brief little intro to this amazing project that's taking place there?
Yeah, thanks, Joe. And hello, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I wore this green for St. Patrick, but I realized that our logo is blue and green. So I've had all the bases covered there. Well, the Fabien Cousteau Ocean Learning Center is based around a philosophy of connecting people with the importance of what ocean is to all of us. In ways that are fun, dynamic, interesting, and impactful to both the human beings as well as the environment. And we follow 3 simple words: see, learn, and do. And during that process, one of the things that I realized is, although a lot of people love sea turtles, we often don't realize the importance that sea turtles have as a role in the oceanic ecosystem and also on land. And sea turtles itself in Nicaragua were by and large being ignored. And we had worked in countries nearby, El Salvador and such, and realized that by engaging the local community, they were not only able to learn about sea turtles, but also look at ways in which they could make a living while protecting these endangered sea creatures. A few years ago, I had the unbelievable privilege of meeting Pamela Fletcher and Martin, who subsequently introduced me to the country of Nicaragua and the sea turtle opportunity there as well. We had worked before that in Nicaragua with mangroves. And so having seen the amazing community of ladies, young and young at heart, that live and work in that area, we're able to work with them and a group of amazing gentlemen as well to do sea turtle conservation and education, not only for the community, but also for some of the community at large, tourists, etc., who may want to learn more about sea turtle programs and sea turtle populations in Nicaragua. We're also working with local university and so on and so forth. But this is all thanks to the unbelievable work that the people on site are dedicating themselves to, and the amazing management that Martin has dedicated to this particular project. He goes there all the time, works with them in the field both day and night, which is very, very hard work, and he'll explain how that works. And then, of course, Pamela, who oversees all our oceanic projects, both local and abroad meaning Nicaragua. And together, we're able to tout some amazing successes for that community as well as for the sea turtles. I don't want to give too much away, so I'm going to pass the baton over to you, Joe. But I'm sure Pamela and Martin also have some things to say about it.
All right, well, let's bring in the rest of the dream team that you did mention. So we'll start off with Dr. Pamela Fletcher. So she is the program director with the Fabien Cousteau Ocean Learning Center, and then Martin Molina, who is the director of this project in particular with the sea turtles. Martin and Pamela, it's so great to have you joining us live today.
Thanks so much for having us, Joe, and happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
All right. Well, why don't I give you a moment if you want to say hi or add to what Fabien introduced, and then we'll go right to the main show. We'll head live out into the field.
Okay, great. I just want to orient all of our classrooms to where we are going to visit today in Nicaragua. It's the Pacific Ocean, because Nicaragua has a Caribbean coast and a Pacific coast. And we will be on the northwest portion of Nicaragua in a county called León. We'll get to see the team. And Martin, I think you're going to introduce us to the local team in Nicaragua and tell us a little bit more about the project.
Yes, hi. So I introduce you to the team. We have local girls and women. I've been working in the project for the last 4 years. The group of girls and women have grown. We had a little bit of a dip during the COVID year, but we're back where we wanted to be for our goals. So we have an amazing team. Today we're going to see all the process that we do when it comes to monitoring sea turtles, putting them in the hatchery, bringing the eggs back, watching them 24/7 to the hatching time, do all the biophysical and the physical protocols, by doing excavation, weighing the sea turtles, and then releasing them. So we're very excited. Thank you for having us and giving us a chance to connecting with you guys all over the world. And here we have the team right now. This is our team down there.
Hola.
Hola, Ana.
Hola.
Que digan los nombres.
Que digan cada quien su nombre.
Ya. Hola, mucho gusto. Mi nombre es Ana María Parrales.
Mucho gusto, mi nombre es Aida Barrera. Mucho gusto, mi nombre es Araceli Parrales. Mucho gusto, mi nombre es Beatriz Sánchez.
Mucho gusto, Moisés David Tinoco.
Hola, mucho gusto. Me llamo Candia.
Me llamo Jennifer.
Me llamo Mari.
All right. So that's the team ready to go down there to show us the work they do. Okay, Anita.
Saludos de Nicaragua, de la isla Juan Venado. Les saluda el grupo de mujeres de FCOLC.
They say good afternoon. They want to say hello to everyone from Nicaragua. They are the Fabien Cousteau Ocean Learning Center Women Empowerment Group that's going to show us the work we do in Nicaragua.
En este momento vamos a hacer una presentación del trabajo que realizamos cuando andamos patrullando en la isla. Vamos a hacer una enseñanza del trabajo que realizamos, de cómo marcamos la tortuga. Lo primero que hacemos en el momento es observar que nuestra tortuga no traiga lesiones en el cuello.
So they're going to show steps of how they, when they encounter a sea turtle, when they're walking the beach at night or day, the steps they go through to check on the turtle and do measurements and capture data. One of the first steps they do is they make sure the sea turtle is okay, not hurt, to continue the process.
Procedemos a revisarle su caparazón y sus aletas. Después vamos a hacer lo que es el enchapado, que esto nos ha ayudado para tener en cuenta cuántas tortugas nos visitan a nuestras playas, cuántas desovan y cuántas regresan por una o dos o tercera vez.
So after making sure the sea turtle is okay, we're going to begin to do our first step of for the sea turtle, which is the install a flipper tag, which is like a little earring placed on one of the flippers, actually both flippers. And this way we learn about the sea turtle. Before we started doing this flipper tag protocol, we were not sure if they will come back to our area. We know they come back. We have to
Esta es una chapa que es la que le marcamos. Vamos a desinfectarla. Procedemos a desinfectar la chapa y procedemos a desinfectar la aleta derecha con el número NI 0084.
So they clean the equipment, they clean the flipper tag, they clean the area of the flipper where they install the flipper tag, and then collect the data, the number of the tag, and they record it.
Marcamos la aleta y de ahí procedemos a marcar la aleta izquierda con el número NI 0085.
So they install the first one on the right, then on the left, even numbers on the right, uneven on the left.
Después que realizamos el marcaje en sus aletas, mi compañera Aida viene a hacer lo que es la medición de su caparazón.
Empezamos midiendo el largo. Y el largo nos da 67 centímetros. Luego procedemos a medir el ancho. Y el ancho es de 69 centímetros.
Después de hacer lo que es la medición de su caparazón, la tortuga, el mejor momento para realizar este trabajo es cuando ella está desovando.
So while she's nesting, they go ahead and measure the sea turtle, measure the width, the length, and they collect the data. Best time while she's nesting, we do this work as long as she allows us to go.
Ahora, ya que nuestra tortuga ha terminado de desovar, vamos a proceder a su pesaje.
We also weigh the sea turtle, and it's important. If we ever catch her, we have identified with a flipper tag, we can see if she's gaining weight or losing weight. We can see if she's grown, if her shell's grown. So very important that we apply this part of science. So very carefully we place the sea turtle in this we do as quickly as we can. The last step that we do before she heads back to the ocean.
Nuestra tortuga pesa 13.5 kilos.
So we record the data, that's very important.
Ya de realizado lo que es el pesaje, como pueden observar, es un trabajo que realmente es en unión, lo tenemos que hacer todo el grupo de mujeres, porque ya que nuestra tortuga es algo pesadita. Después que ya la tortuga se ha ido al agua, vamos a proceder a ir al vivero.
So after the step of weighing the sea turtle, she goes back to the ocean. We collect the eggs and them back to the hatchery.
En este momento vamos hacia el nivel.
For 45 days, we monitor the eggs. We take closer to the hatching date.
En esta tarde le vamos a mostrar lo que es la siembra de nuestro huevo que puso la tortuga. Vamos a hacer un nido de 45 centímetros de profundidad.
So once we recollect the nest from the beach and we bring it back to the hatchery, we begin to build the nest. We built it 45 centimeters deep and about 12 centimeters at the bottom and 10 at the top. So it's kind of like an upside down cone. We tried to mimic what Pamela Fletcher has done. So FCOLC is doing that right now. We do this at nighttime, daytime. There's no clock for sea turtles.
Una vez ya hechos nuestros nidos, vamos a proceder a poner los huevos.
Once we created the cavity nest, we begin to place the eggs in the cavity very carefully. So 45 days is the hatching time for other Ridleys. That is the dominant turtle that on this beach. We have 4 species that nest. Very lucky, special place. We have the other Ridley, Huxville, and Pacific Green.
Ahorita hemos sembrado 36 huevos, que son 3 docenas.
36 eggs were relocated to the hatchery from this Ridley sea turtle. Carefully, we cover the nest with the sand that's at the bottom first, and then the sand that's on the top. You see in the hatch later on, we have a matrix.
Una vez que hemos incubado nuestro huevo, esperamos 45 días para que nuestro huevo eclosione y salgan nuestras tortugas baby.
From today on, 45 days later, we'll check the nest for the first time, or they come up on their own, like we're going to see later today at the hatchery. Gracias. Julio, ya.
Okay.
Yeah, Julio. So we have Oscar join our team right there. Everyone that is Oscar, he's the university professor in charge of all the research at the university. So he's come out to join us today.
All right, Martin. Well, it's always great to see the team and the very important work that they are doing with those 4 species of sea turtles that do nest in Nicaragua. And I believe pretty shortly they're going to start making their way along the beach and into the estuary. They're going to hop into a motorboat and make their way to the hatchery, which is always a fun part of the event. Maybe as they're preparing to do that, why don't we play our Kahoot? So while they were presenting, I pulled a little Kahoot together behind the scenes. And I think now would be a great time to get our students into the Kahoot. So I'm going to tuck our team away in Nicaragua just temporarily. I'm going to bring Fabien and Pamela in behind the scenes in case they want to comment on any of the questions as we get them going. And I see students already running to get some of their devices. So I'm going to share a link here. You're going to want to go to kahoot.it, and then it's going to ask you for a PIN number. So today's is 588-1514. And then it's going to give you a really cool auto-generated animal name, and you will be ready to go. I'm going to share my screen so we can see everything that is happening here. Let me pick the right screen. There we go. All right. So you can see the numbers. Oh, we've got lots of students coming in there already, like Dr. Pigeon and the Balanced Owl and the Kind Alpaca. That's great. So if you can join right at your seat, if you have one-to-one technology, you can do it that way. If not, maybe your teacher could pop it up at the front and you could shout out your answers to him or her. If you have something like a tablet or a phone, you could even just scan that QR code and it will bring you right into the event. And it looks like we have reached, there we go. So it looks like we're getting a limit today, which doesn't usually happen. But for those who can't make it in live today, you're going to have to just shout out your answers for today's quiz. I'll have to check and see what's up with our account and why they capped us at 50. But we've got a great crew here, like the Lucky Gecko, the Giving Yeti, the Mystery Goat. So you have 20 seconds for each question. They're true and false. They're multiple choice. Let's get into it right now. Get a little volume on that music in the background too. So here we go. Some of these questions you heard today answered. Some are just sea turtle knowledge questions. So how many species of sea turtles are there? Are there 3, 5, 7, or 10? The quicker you get that answer in, the more points you're going to get. Of course, if it's right, you're getting more points as well. If it is wrong, we've got nothing for you. So let's see how we do on this first question. All right, good job, crew. You were paying attention at the beginning. There are 7 species of sea turtles, and I believe 6 of those are threatened, but we have the perfect crew to let us know if I'm correct with that fact. All right, let us jump into our next question. We'll take a look at our leaderboard first. There we go. The glowing ostrich is holding down that top spot. Let's go to our next question. How many species nest in Nicaragua? Was it 1, 2, 3, or 4 species that nest there in Nicaragua? You have 8 more seconds to get that answer logged in. All right, we had a little bit of a split between 3 and 4, but it is 4 species. We have the green sea turtle, the olive ridley, the leatherback, and the hawksbill. Very cool. And then Pamela, have all 4 species of eggs been in the hatchery?
The only species we haven't had this year is the hawksbill sea turtles, but all the others, the green, the leatherbacks, and the olive ridleys, we've had.
All right. Let's jump to our leaderboard here. The snowy sable has taken that top spot. Let's go to a true and false. You should be able to get that one in nice and quick for some bonus points. Sea turtles can pull their heads into their shells like turtles on land. Is that true? Or is that false? Sea turtles can pull their heads right into their shells, just like turtles on land. All right, we had some back and forth here, but that is false. They don't have that ability to pull their heads right in, pull their flippers right in, like our land-based turtles can. What did that do to our leaderboard? I bet that shook things up a little bit. The dazzled kitten has taken that top spot. Let's take a quick pause here. I want to see what our team is up to. I'm going to bring them full screen. There they are. The tide must be out. They're making their way along the beach. Estuary, and they are making their way towards the boats. So there they are. That's a real live vision as they make their way towards there's the boats there, so they're getting close to the water.
Yeah, it's low tide right now, so we have a little bit of a walk. We're almost there.
Yeah, next time we check in, we will see them in the boat and ready to go. Let me bring my screen back up here. There we go. Next question. We've got 2 more to go before we crown our sea turtle champion for today. The team places a tag on the turtle's flipper to see if it returns in the future. Was that true or is that false? The team places a tag on the turtle's flipper to see if it returns in the future. We've got a couple more seconds to get our answer. Whoa, nice and quick there. You guys beat the timer. That is absolutely true. Good job, crew. Let's take a look here. The Dazzle Kitten is holding on strong. And here we go. We are going to get to our final question. The largest species of sea turtle. Do you think it's the hawksbill? Do you think it is the leatherback? Do you think it is the green? Or do you think it is the olive ridley? So we have halfway there. 10 seconds to get your answer logged in. The way things are going, you guys might beat the timer again this time. Let's see. All right. Overwhelmingly, we have gone with the leatherback, a turtle that I would give almost anything to see in or out of the water. Doesn't matter. I would love to see a leatherback turtle. Okay, our podium. 3rd place, we've got the mystery goat. The prairie lion snagging that 2nd spot. And all the glory today is going to the helpful horse sneaking in at the end and stealing that top spot. All right. Good stuff, crew. Let's come back from that screen share. There we go. All right. Get rid of this banner. And let's see first what our team is doing. There we go. We've got them in the boat. Hola, everyone. How we doing?
¿Cómo están, Julio? Decirle que saluden.
¿Cómo están? Saluden.
All right. It is so great to see them making their way through the estuary. And they're going to pass through some mangrove. And then they are going to get to the hatchery. They've got a little tiny walk after that, after they get through here. So we'll get a little view here. Looks like lots of seabirds sitting on the shore, some floating in the water. Martine, you weren't, last time we had an event together, it was the 100,000th egg being relocated to the hatchery, and you were right down there for us. So you were taking that boat ride.
Yeah, I was down there. That's correct. It was a lot of fun. It was a beautiful day.
Right. So while we wait for the team to make their way to the hatchery, let's do a few questions. So if you were tuning in via YouTube, use the chat sidebar and send us in some questions. But let's start to meet some of our camera groups and get some of their questions. So I can see in Montana, Miss Sinclair, 2nd graders. There's a lot of hands there, so we better start there. Does anybody have a question for us about sea turtles or the work they're doing with the hatchery program?
Stop talking and come up here because he's got you. There you go. Talk nice and clean.
What's the biggest baby sea turtle you have ever seen?
Okay, the biggest baby sea turtle.
For which one of us?
I think it's just whoever is quicker on the draw and would like to jump in and put in.
Well, the biggest baby sea turtle I've ever seen has been a leatherback baby sea turtle, because leatherbacks are the biggest sea turtles, so they have bigger babies. Since we weight the sea turtles and measure them after they come out of the nest, like we'll see today, I've seen sometimes they're not all the same. Sometimes we have some bigger ones and little ones, so I've seen them a little bigger than others. But I'm sure maybe other persons around the globe or the world have seen them bigger. Who knows? Good question, though.
All right, Miss St. Clair, second graders, thanks for getting us started. We are going to come back your way. But before we do that, we're going to go to Boulder, Colorado. How we doing, Boulder?
You want to say hi? Hi! Okay. Okay, this is Noah.
Hi.
Go ahead, Noah.
So how does climate change affect the sea turtle population and their habitat? How can kids help?
Wow. Well, I'll answer the first. I'll answer as one of the people who will answer the first part. And we've seen this in Nicaragua a lot for the sea turtles. Is the erosion of the beaches has changed the way they've been nesting, as well as the temperatures and seasons seem to have made the sea turtle nesting season longer, at least this year. I've very rarely seen a nesting season last an entire year. Now, obviously, there's different species that nest at different times of the year, but usually these lovely, amazing ladies and Martine get a break at some point in the year to kind of reset everything. And this year, they haven't gotten a break yet. We keep getting nesting turtles. So what about you guys, Pamela and Martine?
So one of the other factors we know from climate change is things are getting warmer, and we have a saying. Tell me, Boulder, Colorado, has anybody in your classroom heard about when temperatures are hotter? Do you know, are there more girls or boys produced? Have you talked about that in your class?
No.
I was going to share the answer to that as their teacher, but I was going to let you guys do it first. Because I didn't want to worry them being third graders, but you can definitely go for it because we are learning about weather and climate right now.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
So we're learning how weather and climate is affecting wildlife populations. So go for it. Guys, listen up.
My daughter just got back from the Climate Museum today, actually. But Pamela, you were saying.
So listen up, guys.
Yeah, I have a little bit of an
Okay.
internet issue, but I want to, and cool guys. So hotter temperatures tend to produce more girls, and when the weather's cooler, you get more males. So as climate changes and it's warmer, and studies have been done in Florida showing that hotter temperatures are producing more female baby turtles.
Now, there's a second part to this question, which was a lot harder to answer, is what can kids do about this?
Right, guys?
Oh, you want me to answer that? I see people just went on mute. The hot potato, no pun intended. Well, first, you're doing it by learning about climate change and about how it affects nature. So that's a first step. And hopefully you'll be, as you grow older and become adults, you'll be much better informed and become better stewards of our planet than we've ever been. In the meantime, we have to do all that we can to talk to our parents, our families, our friends, to let them know that climate change is not just inconvenient for us on land. It creates shorter skiing seasons in Colorado, for example, and more chaotic weather patterns. So, when you want to go skiing or snowboarding, sometimes there's snow, sometimes there's not. But also affects a lot of things around us that we care about, sea turtles, for example, or that we depend on, including food and water. The more we can help with that, with our everyday decisions that affect climate change, man-made climate change related issue, the better the future will be for you, and hopefully for us if we're still around. We can get into the nuts and bolts aspects, but really you are the answer to your question, meaning you are the people, the young people who can make old people like us make better decisions and change and drive, maybe have better solutions in our everyday lives. And I don't want to point to specifics because we may get into semantics here, but Pamela, do you have anything to add, or Martine?
I'm trying to type in because my connection isn't so good, but things that you can do every day. If you think about sea turtles and their impacts from climate change, but there are other things that affect them. So their habitat, taking care of their habitat, reducing marine debris. We know and we've learned that sea turtles will ingest plastic accidentally, of course. They think it might be a jellyfish, their food. So reducing some of the other things that stress sea turtles is helpful as well. And those are things that you can do every day. As easy as a beach cleanup if you live near an ocean or a shoreline, there's waterway cleanups. But even if you live in the middle of the United States, like some of you that are joining us from Boulder, Colorado, there's things that you can do walking or riding your bike to school that fit into the climate and the global carbon emissions. So there's little things that once they build up each day can make a difference wherever you are on the planet.
And carpooling, things like that. You have to remember that all things end up in the ocean. So even though you may be at the top of a mountain skiing on snow, you're skiing on the ocean. And anything that you do to that water system ends up eventually draining into the ocean. So you have to be very careful with what you do every day.
We have one more quick question. Can we ask it, please? Really quick.
We're going to come back your way, I promise, Colorado, but the team, I can see them all set up and ready to go. So I don't want to leave them waiting too long. Here they are. Let me get them nice and full screen. They are at the hatchery, and we are ready for them.
Una vez ya esperamos los 45 días y estamos revisando el nido y ahorita tenemos de la especie torita.
So they're checking right now our nest, and what's hatching is a Pacific sea turtle. That's the nest that we're coming up and we're excavating. Let's see. Oh, there's another one. So this is the rewarding part, guys. After the hard work of walking nights, 9 kilometers, and getting the eggs back to the hatchery, the reward of the hard work that the ladies and girls do every day. It's 24/7, 7 days a week.
Estamos muy contentos porque nacieron nuestras tortuguitas baby. Tortuguitas. Es lo mismo.
And talking about climate change, daily we've had sea turtles nesting during the day this last couple of 6 weeks, and also hatching during the day. Usually hatching at night, but climate change, temperature is affected. And the season is getting later and later into the year. So definitely, climate change is affecting the way this precious ecosystem is coming along now.
So it looks like they're checking a few nest sites today.
Yeah.
Let's, while they're working there, we'll keep them up on screen. Let's grab another question here. We've got a crew hanging out with us here in Newark, in New Jersey. There are some first and second graders hanging with Miss O. How are we doing today, New Jersey?
Hi.
There they are. Does anybody have a
Estas son
question?
especies paso-
Hey guys, can you guys say see us?
We see you. Yeah,
Oh, I got a question.
go for it.
Uh, how do turtles get get washed out by the waves?
Okay, so they're asking about the waves, Martine. Do the baby sea turtles, do they get washed out by the waves?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, they do. They get washed out by the waves. We'll place them, you know, in nature. When the nest is left out there, when they come up, sometimes they have to travel big distances to get to the ocean. Here, we kind of give them a head start. We put them not so close to the waves, but we let them walk like they do in nature, so they can go into the waves. They get washed out. We get to see them.
All right, we're getting a nice view of some of those babies coming out right now.
Han nacido
There's a,
36 más la
So these are olive lilies. 36 hatched.
did I hear that right, Martine? We've got green and olive ridleys today?
Yes, yes.
Very cool. I think that's the first time we've had multiple species during one of the events.
Yes. Just 2 months ago, we had all three species. We had leatherback, green, and olive lily. Same day.
Very cool.
Yeah.
mis compañeras van a proceder lo que es el pesaje y medida.
So we measure them while they, we want to see the average, measurement of the nest. And like the question they asked before, some are smaller and some are bigger. That's nature. And we record the data. We don't measure every sea turtle because we want to get them out there uh, to the ocean as quick as possible. We kind of can see the biggest one and the smallest one and medium ones. So we only measure, say, out of 60, we measure 20. And we put it on a data sheet, record it, we share it with students at the university, with students in school. We learn math. So while we are protecting and conserving sea turtles, we're learning.
Getting away there.
There you go. That's away.
That one looked ready to go, Martine. Tried to crawl right off the scale.
Yeah, they're ready to go. So of course the green baby sea turtle is gonna weigh more than the other lily. So I'll ask him to give us some numbers so we can compare. They're ready to
La
go.
torita es más inquieta. Don Martín, la torita es más inquieta.
¿Cuánto pesó la torita chiquita? ¿Y cuánto pesó la?
Ya le decimos cuánto va a pesar.
Quieren comparar el peso de las dos. ¿Cuánto
Julio,
pesó la torita?
Vamos a pesar la especie de torita. Vamos a pesar la especie de torita. A medir. A pesar. A medir. A medir. De ancho, 32. Aquí como que altura, 13. El largo. El largo. Aquí. Largo. 42. Ahora pesar. Vamos a pesar. Está inquieto.
All right. While we're watching these measurements, let's grab another question here. I want to go to Miss Michael's crew, 4th graders in Illinois. Let's get them in here. Hey, Illinois. So this crew here, Martine, Katie, and Pamela, they are staying after school. They're so excited for this event. The whole class is staying after school to check out this event here with us today.
Thank you.
Ready? Go for it.
How do sea turtles communicate?
What a great question. Hey guys, thanks for staying late and doing this with us. Really enjoy having you on this adventure and watching what the ladies are doing in Nicaragua. I am so not going to answer that, Pamela. That is you. Because I have my own thoughts, but I am not a marine biologist.
I don't know. That's the best question I think we've had so far. So we all have to do some research to see if there's been some groups that have been studying how the sea turtles communicate. So
yeah, I would imagine it's part of body language because they don't really talk.
Or at least not our language.
Well, that is a pretty cool view of a bucket of turtles on St. Patrick's Day. It looks like a lot of olive ridleys and then a little group of green sea turtles. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, there's 48 olive ridleys.
48 olive ridleys, and I think, is it 7 greens?
7 or 8? I don't remember.
Wow.
Now, the rest of the nest may not have hatched yet. You know, one of the things, Martine, maybe you can tell us, working there on site a lot, I'm used to sea turtles nesting mostly at night and also hatching mostly at night, but it seems like some of these sea turtles are doing both at night and the day. Have you seen that in Nicaragua?
Yeah, the last 2 months, I was talking to Dr. Fletcher, and I think I sent you a quick note. We've had them come up in the daytime the last 2 months. They came up right near the hatchery, and they're hatching during the day too. Usually they hatch later in the afternoon, at night. So probably climate change, and and I'm not sure.
What's the disadvantage of or advantage of hatching and trying to get to the ocean during the day?
Well, the disadvantage is birds, but we try to control that as much as we can. And then at nighttime, of course, there's other animals, there's also birds. So
I would imagine fish too. No, don't fish eat
so,
big fish sometimes eat them?
Yeah, big fish, of course, barracudas.
All right. Well, it looks like our team is getting into position. They're making their way down the beach, and it looks like they are heading to the water. So I think we're going to get to see some of those turtles making their way to the beach. And while that's happening as well, we'll take a few more questions before we wrap up today. So let me get this nice and big screen for us. There they go. The green sea turtles, the olive green sea turtles. It's a bit of a windy day today, but it looks like it's sunny, so that's probably nice. All right, and here we go. What it's all about is baby sea turtles making their way to the ocean, a little pull down the beach, and then they're off in a big world.
Whoa, look at the green go.
They are ready to go.
They're gone.
The greens are look at them. Oops. There you go.
Oh yeah. Green sea turtles are ready.
The greens are very active. Yeah, you see the ocean does wash them away when ask that question. The waves.
Yeah. All right, well, let's visit a few more questions while we watch this. I'm going to keep this on the main screen, but I can still bring in a few classrooms to come in and join us. So we'll start off. We're going to look at our New York crew again. Hey, Newark, New Jersey. You guys have another question for us? Hear me over there? Maybe they can't hear us. We'll try another class. We'll go back to Illinois. We'll try Newark. They are pretty cute. All right, who's got a question for us? We're ready for you, Illinois. If you have a question, don't be shy. Okay, they're in the water.
Babies go! Babies go!
All right, I think some of our costumes are speechless. They're engrossed by the turtles making their way into the ocean. But I did like the commentary. They are pretty cute. You got to give them that. Martine and Pamela, usually it's a little slower to get to the water, but those green sea turtles just were not wasting any time. They knew what they needed to do.
Oh yeah, the greens are very, very active for some reason. They take off. So the leatherback.
All right, well, I'm going to try and get some questions in a different way. I want you to wave at the camera if you're ready for another question from the team. So give me a wave up at the camera. Okay, Colorado, you guys are waving. You're switched on. Let's go. We're ready.
This question. You learned about your grandfather, Cousteau. You learned about Fabien's grandfather. And we watched a video about it. And
very cool.
It's a little different.
Can you repeat that a little bit for us? I'm just going to take the turtles out temporarily.
How did John Cousteau get his red hat?
How do you get his red hat?
He was always wearing that red hat. We were all curious, and that's what they came up with. I know it's not related to sea turtles, but
that's a very good question, and a question a lot of people don't know the answer to. So that's an excellent question. My grandfather got started with the red hat because back in the early days, when he was still in the Navy in 1940s, hard hat divers, divers with that big helmet on their head in the Navy, would distinguish the divers from the people who were helping the divers by wearing either blue caps or red caps. And the red caps people were the ones that were the divers going with the hard hat into the water and the lead boots.
Wow.
And so that's how they would distinguish one red cap, one blue cap. And my grandfather would wear the red cap in honor of all those pioneering divers that would do that risky thing of going diving with a big helmet on their heads and the lead boots. So he wore a red cap for them.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love that question. My red cap on this event here. Very, very cool. That was a great question, guys. Very, very cool. I want to bring in the team here and let them wave like crazy because the turtles have made it. They have made it to the ocean. Martine, if you want to give a shout out to the team, thank you so much, everybody. That was awesome.
Muchas gracias a todos. Adiós.
All right.
Adiós todo el mundo, adiós.
Thank you, everyone. That was awesome. It's always good to see you.
Muchas gracias.
They're always such a happy team. They're so excited to be doing the work that they're doing. And every time, those sea turtles make their way to the ocean, I think it's just such a great moment for everybody.
It's so much fun. It's so much hard work. And it's so satisfying to see the baby sea turtles go back into the ocean after all of that effort. And I can't thank those people enough dedicating their lives to doing that.
Yeah.
All right. I want to squeeze in just a couple more questions. Miss Sinclair, second graders, we see you front and center. We're ready for you.
What made you guys be so interested in sea turtles?
What makes you most interested in sea turtles?
I don't know.
Sea turtles are amazing because they're the gardeners of the sea, right? They go and munch on sponges, and they're like school buses going from one reef to another with hitchhikers on their shells when they go and scour their shells, meaning they rub their shells on those rocks and on the coral reef. They're amazing sea creatures. They also they basically keep the local ecosystem healthy, and then of course they're cute. Who doesn't love sea turtles? So those things are part of the reason, and also because they're endangered and they need our help. And it's really nice to see that we can help a local community who need to make a living, and couple that and marry that with helping nature and the environment. And so it's a win-win for everybody. And so the fact that they love their sea turtles and they're helping the sea turtles, in turn the sea turtles are helping them thanks to the program, is the reason why we do this.
All right. That's an awesome question. Very cool, Montana. Thanks so much for being with us today. Illinois, I think we're ready with a question. I think I saw somebody on deck.
Here's Mirta on deck. Tell you need to do that.
Excellent.
So I want to be a marine biologist when I grow up. So what should I do for that?
Study in school. But besides that, I'll let Pamela, since she's the scientist, and Martin, maybe you have some comments. I shouldn't say this in front of a classroom, but I was a terrible student in class. But the good news is I had great teachers who actually guided me in what I love to do most. And they kept my attention because they shared their passion with me. And thanks to them, and thanks to my curiosity of the ocean, I've done this for the rest of my life. And hopefully, if that's what you want to do, then you'll do this passion of yours to become a marine biologist for the rest of yours. But Pamela, maybe you have a better answer or a different one.
I second everything you said, Fabien. Is you got to study hard, stay in school, keep your curiosity, find those things that really give you the passion to pursue this field. Don't look and think, I just want to work with sea turtles as we have today. You never know what you might get the opportunity to be involved with. Maybe it's lobsters or it's water quality or weather, all those things that affect the habitat that's related to sea turtles or marine science in general. So stay curious, don't give up. It's not always easy, but keep that passion and that drive.
Don't forget to look at the small stuff. Even the little microcosmic stuff is sometimes amazing. And we've explored less than 7% of our ocean world to this day. So there's so much left for you to discover. We encourage you to do that and go on your adventure.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Such a good question. I want to try our newer crew one more time, our after school crew. There they are. They know they're on camera. Give us a big wave, Newark. All right. Come on up. We want that question. Let's go.
What is your question?
When all the sea turtles ran to the sea, what happened next?
Oh, that's a great question. So what happens next? They're in the ocean now. What's going on now?
Maybe they're looking for their parents.
That's a theory. Yeah. What do you think, Martine, Pamela?
Yeah.
Once they're out in the ocean, they begin their journey. They try to become adults. It's very challenging for them because I'll ask you guys a question. Out of 10,000 baby sea turtles, how many do you guys think survive? But to answer your question some more, they have to escape the weather. They have to escape fishing nets. They have to escape birds. So have a lot of challenges in front of them. But, how many do you
I
guys
think
survive?
some of them have an answer.
Let's hear a couple guesses. How many baby sea turtles out of 10,000? How many do you think survive? Go ahead in the purple shirt. What's your guess?
So I think maybe like 10 of them or 5 of them survive.
5 to 10. Is there another guess? Let's get one more guess. Orange shirt, right at the back in the middle.
100.
100. Okay.
100.
We got a split, really low or a little bit higher with 100. What do we think?
Pamela, what do you think?
I'll give you the science answer for today. It's always a range. There's not a one single right answer. It depends on the species, but it could be 1 in 10,000. It could be more than that. We always hope with programs like ours that we're improving the success of those sea turtles, but you really never know. And they're amazing creatures. They've been on Earth for a long, long time with their ancestors, but they have maintained some semblance of a population here, and it ranges from maybe 1 in 10,000 can survive. Hope it's more. Good questions.
Yeah.
I will say that programs that at least help in the beginning of their lifespan most likely have a beneficial effect to that number, meaning that the number hopefully will be a little bit more than 1 to 10,000. But in nature, 1 to 10,000 is usually the low number, the case.
All right. And just before I do a sign off, I can see our team is ready in Nicaragua. They've got their big poster out for a sign off. We still have a couple classrooms backstage whose day haven't ended. We'll do a big goodbye and thank you. But success rate of the program, it's up in the 90%, isn't it?
Way above what would happen if we didn't do anything. Yeah. And Martin and Pamela, you should kind of expand on that, because it affects the numbers are high because of all the work you all are doing. So you might want to give a little more detailed color to that.
Yeah, it is the hard work. The group works, walks at nighttime, walk in the daytime. So if the group didn't walk, will be less sea turtles coming back to us. This also education. We've been there for 3.5 years. So with time and workshops that we had, and getting to know the community, working together, they've learned the culture of helping us. So get the sea turtles back to safety, and they've learned. We've taken baby steps. We're crawling to a toddler. The first sea turtle nest was brought to us before the season started this year, so that's another positive success that we've had working with sea turtles. And with that comes, we had a great the hard work that we put checking the nest 24/7. Thanks for the Fabien Ocean Learning Center for facilitating and supporting this project. We reached 100,000 egg, and we've released 89,344.
Wow.
So in 4 years, we've only really lost like 17,600 sea turtles. So it's amazing numbers, and we've gotten better through the years. So we think we're doing okay.
Yeah, and the team is logging all the information of the amount of sea turtles that are released. They're also looking, as you saw, at the sand temperatures, at all this information that's very important for us to learn more about how to be better and more successful, and to share that with the world, so that we can get a better understanding of all the sea turtles in the entire globe. Also, things that we don't really show, but the community there dedicates themselves to building the areas, the nurseries to protect the baby sea turtles or when they're eggs, to bring them as much as 9 kilometers away into these nurseries, and to shepherd and make sure that they're okay. Clean the sand, for example. All these things that we don't talk about, they do a lot of work for this to happen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to start off with a huge shout out to all of the classrooms who joined us today. Usually we do this first thing in the morning. So we had a big crew from Mountain Pacific Time joining us today who aren't usually able to join in. There was tons of groups tuning in. I want to bring in our team from backstage. There they are. They are standing in those waves there. Thank you so much for being with us and sharing another amazing trip with us to Nicaragua and to the
Gracias.
And to see the amazing work you do. And then to our classrooms. A few classrooms are still hiding out. If you want to give a good goodbye and thank you.
We had the best time.
To Pamela, to Martine, to the team in Nicaragua. Thank you so much, everybody. It was another really fun event.
Thank you, classmates.
You guys, you're backstage.
For today. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Oh.